Hey guys, it is Tonya, Thrifty Treasures, and I'd like to welcome you to the Reseller Six-Pack episode number 10. And tonight we are going to be talking about hustler/reseller flipping avenues. And what I mean by that is places we sell besides the usual, like eBay and Amazon. What other places do you use to flip the items that you buy? So let's start with John. What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Miller Lite out of my Cincinnati Picker mug.
Awesome.
I love this topic, by the way. This is a good one.
Okay, good. Thanks. All right, Pete.
Pete, what I'm drinking, as you guys can see in my... Do I have a name now? What happened to my name on the bottom of the screen?
Did you put it there?
Okay, I did.
You got to add it every time.
You got to add it every time.
Oh, I did. Anyway,
there's a slider.
I don't know what happened. Anyway, guys.
Yeah, you know, the rookie. You know,
I had a blank, just my name there with nothing too far as the drink because I'm having hot tea. That's all I'm having, guys. I had a pretty big party yesterday, and I can't do this in a row.
Well, that's understandable. All right, Dwayne.
Hi, I'm Mothership Products, Dwayne Hale, and I am drinking, what am I drinking? Sailor Jerry. Sailor Jerry and vanilla Coke.
Oh, yummy.
Are you going to lose your Fireball sponsorship if they see you drinking that on camera? Oh, no. I see.
No. So, what about you, Andy?
Oh, what about me? Excuse me, guys. I'm still getting over my cold. I'm never going to shake this thing, I swear, after last night and talking for all them hours and what have you. But yeah, anyway, I'm Andy. I'm the Prayer Head Picker. And tonight, as you can see, I'm drinking rummy rum. Just some Captain and Coke. So
awesome. Lonnie?
Hey, guys. My name's Lonnie, a.k.a. Garage Flips. This is my YouTube channel. I'm drinking Abita Andigator. It's Abita Springs Andigator again. I think I've done this like 3 shows. I tried to get some of that purple haze, Tonya, and they didn't have it. It wasn't at the
really?
store, so.
But they make it there.
Yeah,
what's it doing over here and not over there?
I don't know. They didn't have it at my store. But this is really good, though. Andigator's awesome. I'm going to sip it tonight, Tonya. I'm going to try and stay respectable on your show. On your
he can't even say the
good.
word.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. Who wants to go first? Who wants to jump into this, John?
Wait,
oh,
Tonya,
me? Okay. I have a mango daiquiri.
Nice.
And I said mystery drink because I wasn't sure what I was going to be drinking, but yeah, mango daiquiri. It's yummy. But I'm concerned that people can't see it and hear us in the chat because unless just nobody's here.
I think Julie says everything's good here. John, looking good.
Okay, let me refresh that.
Yeah, the chat is scrolling. There's people talking and stuff.
Yeah, and like I said, Julie said everything's good, look and sound good.
Okay, I think I needed to refresh it or something because I'm not seeing it. Okay, there it is. Okay, guys. So John, do you want to start off?
Yeah, definitely. So this topic got me thinking a little bit, and I was kind of thinking about each of you and how you've all got your different platforms. And one that I know Tonya does is an antique booth, and like she'll show pictures of her antique booth. And I don't mean to like steal your thunder here, Tonya. I just think it's really cool when I wanted to talk about it. I remember years ago being in an antique mall and seeing all these booths. I'm just thinking like this would be so cool to have your own little thing. Way before I ever started about thinking about my website. But I think an antique booth or an antique mall or flea market is a really good avenue that some people might want to look into doing.
Definitely. And like I said, I use my antique booth for a lot of times for the breakables and the bigger items like the smaller pieces of furniture and stuff like that I can't necessarily ship very easily.
So that's more your local game, right? Because you don't do a lot of Craigslist or Let Go, but that's where you kind of get rid of your local stuff, isn't it?
Right. And I'll flip clothing and home goods on consignment too. If I get them cheap enough at garage sales, like if I go to a garage sale and all the clothing is a quarter, I might scoop up a bunch of it and take it to consignment.
Very nice.
Yeah. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. So
Okay, Lonnie.
I'm like 100% eBay right now, and I've been trying to move over to Let Go, selling a little bit. I have done not flea markets, antique booth in the past, and I did pretty well at it. And I need to get back into it again. I just haven't found a place that I like again yet. Location is important when it comes to those, for sure, I think. Tonya, your antique booth, how did you select that particular place? I'm curious.
Oh gosh, it's been there forever. I mean, even since I was a kid, it's just always been there, and I've always known about it. So, and I had shopped there sometimes as well. So, and it's probably about 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes away from my house, depending upon how fast I drive. But yeah, so it's not too far. And they recently just built a brand new Goodwill out there too. So I really enjoy going out there for that too.
Well, cool. Yeah, I used to really like the antique booth, but kind of had a falling out with the owners. And then I got out of that place and I never went back to another one. So I need to do it again for sure. And I also need to learn how to do the local game a little better, because I think I'm expecting to get eBay type prices at, on like Craigslist and Let Go and OfferUp. And I think most of the time you just aren't going to get it. I need to lower expectations and move some stuff,
Definitely, me too.
Much smaller audience.
And when you think about it, that you're not paying any fees, you're not paying any shipping. I mean, you can come down a little bit and still make the same price point.
Right.
Almost, unless you have lots of overhead. So,
right.
I play the local game all the time and a lot. I mean, probably good 35–40% of my business is local. So not only out of my shop, but I do sell on all these local platforms. I sell on Let Go, I sell on OfferUp, I sell on Craigslist, I sell on a bunch of different Facebook groups, including my own as well. And it's a big game, but the money is different and expectation is different. It's totally different than selling on Amazon and eBay. I mean, obviously, sometimes you gotta wait for the buyer for a long time because the audience is just not there. I mean, on eBay, for example, you got millions and millions of eyes looking at your product, right? If somebody's looking for that product. And it depends how big metropolitan area you are in. It could be tough, I mean, I happen to be in Chicago, so it is a lot of people. And it's a little bit easier to move the product. But if you are in a smaller town, that could be an issue. I know, for example, that like OfferUp doesn't exist on all the markets. I mean, it exists, but it's not strong. Or Craigslist in some certain areas is dying off. Actually, I think Craigslist within the next year or two will be completely done.
Really? Wow.
I think they're going to be out of the picture. I think they're losing. They're way behind. I think they're just what happened exactly in a market retail place like to Kmart or Sears. This is what's happening to Craigslist right now. So, and these apps are taking advantage. I mean, OfferUp is huge, for example, for me. We make at least 1 or 2 sales a day from OfferUp.
Wow.
Every single day. I got probably about 300 to 400 items listed on any given moment on OfferUp. And I used to have about 1,000 items listed on Craigslist. I don't. I have maybe 50, 60 items on Craigslist. Why? Because they're charging now for certain categories. So why would you pay? There's only certain categories now that they're free. Everything else they charge. So they're grabbing that last dollar that they want to squeeze out, and then they're gonna disappear. They had a chance for 20 years to figure out how to take over a local game, and now they're being beat. So the local game is huge.
Definitely, that's crazy. I had no idea that they were starting to charge.
Pete, are you going to change your name to OfferUp Hunter if Craigslist goes away?
I did. I did so much business on Craigslist back in the day. I mean, really a lot, and especially not maybe so much selling, but buying my stuff. I mean, I had these ads going left and right, looking for different stuff, and people were calling. And within last year, that dropped like drastically. The phone calls that were coming in from these ads. You know, I would get 20, 30 texts a day, 10 phone calls a day. Now, maybe if I'm lucky, I get one text.
Wow.
Wow.
So I'm wondering though, why, Pete, why do you think Craigslist hasn't like evolved their platform? Why don't they have a better front end or app on top of what they're already doing? It seems like it would be really pretty trivial for them to upgrade that.
Did he freeze?
Yeah, I think he froze on us.
Yeah, Pete's frozen.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was me for a second.
He's just in deep thought.
I know. I was like,
Really
wow.
deep.
I stumped. Hey guys, I stumped Pete.
Lonnie, I think you make a good point, because if you go to Craigslist, it's very outdated. It's just basic. There's no flash to it, and I've seen some interviews with the founder, and they just don't want to sell. And I feel like if they sold to Google or if they sold to somebody, it could be amazing. You know, they would put some advertising on there. Personally, I'd rather see advertising than have to pay for an ad. You know, to post an ad, that just doesn't make sense.
Right, I agree, and also the audience is already there too. So, but hey, I have to give a shout out to ADDG. He super chatted $1, so thank you so much for that.
Very cool.
All right, Dwayne, what about you?
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
I'm very one-sided. I mean, 98% of my stuff is on eBay. I have worked on. Here we have a local classified that's very similar to Craigslist, but it's more commonly used in the Valley. It's called it's KSL.com. It's KSL is the radio or movie station and radio station here in the Valley. So they've been doing their classifieds online for quite some time, and everything's free, unless you're advertising for jobs or something. I don't remember, but and so that's used a lot more here. So I used to sell a little bit there. I've kind of gotten away from it. I need to get back to it because I have some things that I can't really get rid of here on eBay. I used to do Amazon, but I've kind of shied away from that as well. So I'm really one-faceted right now, and it's I really need to expand back out and do a little bit more of a local game.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know about y'all. Go ahead.
Antique malls here are non-existent. I think there's one in the entire Salt Lake Valley, and basically it's more like a flea market. I mean, you go in and it's ripped off, pirated music tapes, cassettes, and stuff from China. Really cheap things. So it's really not. We just don't have antiques here or anything worth selling like that.
All right. It sounds like you need to go into the antique business. Maybe open up a mall up there.
There we go.
The women will come if you build it.
Ooh, all right.
All right. What about you, Andy?
This year especially, I've really been exploiting my local game, the OfferUp, the Let Go, the Facebook Marketplace. I mean, I'm probably on about 8 to 10 things on Facebook. Actually, just this weekend, we were at a garage sale, and I don't know if you see my Instagram or not. I bought a bunch of fence panels, just them big, I don't know, they're good sized fence panels. I bought a whole bunch of them off this lady for $20. I come home, took all the ones I wanted to use for our landscaping, and then stuck them right back on a Facebook local group and made $10
Oh my gosh.
on the panels I bought. But I mean, that's the power though, that local seed. It's great for getting rid of big stuff. That's the one thing I really love with, especially like I have better luck on Let Go than I do OfferUp, but that's just my area.
Right.
And I only live a couple hours from Pete. But and my sister lives up in the suburbs, kind of around where he is. And yeah, like what Pete was saying, it's such a difference when like I go to that area and I pull up OfferUp and let go, just all the stuff there versus when I come to my home area and I pull it up. It's so much smaller, but there's a lot of other people though that view a lot wider range than maybe what they would on like a local Facebook page or whatever. So yeah, I love OfferUp and let go. I mean, like I said, I've unloaded so much stuff this year that's just big and bulky and things I don't want to store, things I don't want to ship. You know, it's been great.
Right. And I don't know about you guys, but like whenever I go to a garage sale or a thrift store and I see an item that might be bigger that I can't necessarily move on eBay, I'm always thinking, well, I cannot just leave this here. I have to buy it so I can flip it like on these places like OfferUp. Definitely, I cannot pass up an opportunity to make some money, right? So welcome back, Pete.
Sorry, guys. Last few days, I'm having issues with my router. It just, out of nowhere, just keeps shutting down on me. I think it's time for a new router that I need to get. So I don't know how long it's going to last again. I had a problem earlier too, about 2 hours ago when I was uploading the video. In the middle of upload, it crapped out on me and I had to start over again, you know? So I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, mine's been giving me a hard time this evening too. So.
I see Mr. Sadie is asking what percentage of my inventory comes to the shop and what percentage is outside of the shop, like Craigslist, OfferUp, etc. Far as buying merchandise, probably about 80% of my inventory walks right into the door.
Wow.
And about 20% I source outside. Usually stuff that I source outside is the stuff that it's in bulk and volume that I find, you know, different connections for getting stuff in bulk, because bulk doesn't walk into my shop. You know, individuals come in with individual items. Far as reselling, it's totally opposite. I would say 65-70% of stuff I will sell online through either, you know, eBay, OfferUp, Craigslist, and Facebook groups, and that drives the traffic. And then about 25-30% I will sell it like locally in my shop from just people walking off the street, you know. So
right. So how many of you guys? Oh, do you hear an echo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You talk, Lonnie.
Oh, I got to talk. I was trying to drink a beer. No. So my other thing that I was thinking about, and I'm like, just like Dwayne, I'm like very one faceted where I sell right now. So, dude, like if you or I lost our eBay account for some reason, we would be.
Don't be talking like that, man.
I'm just saying.
Don't be talking like that. Don't scare me.
I'm just saying. I mean, that's the reason that I think it's important. Even though I don't practice it, I'll preach it. If you can diversify, because then if sales are low, or if you have account problems, or whatever the case may be, you know, you're not screwed if you diversify. Just like anything else, right? Right. Where you save your money, or anything, where you source your items. Like I know Pete and John, they both, you know, they have stuff just roll up right up to their door, which they pay for because they have to pay a shitload of overhead for that. But, you know, and they also go out and source, like I know they do, Pete does thrift stores, and they both do garage sales and, you know, all that stuff. You know, that's a form of diversification, but diversifying your selling platform is important too, just for security and, you know, stability. Like, man, I would be screwed if eBay shut me down right now. I really would.
That's why you need to start selling on Etsy, Lonnie.
You know, people keep telling me Etsy, and it just doesn't appeal to me. I don't know why.
It's a different market. It's a niche market. You got to find your niche. You got to load up with that product, and eventually it takes time. You got to get your followers there, your fans, and you're going to get it going, but it takes time.
Do you do it, Pete?
I did it for quite some time, actually. mainly with vintage electronics. But I seem to get a little bit better money on eBay for some of this stuff. So we kind of faded away from Etsy it's been over a year now. I haven't made it. I don't think we have anything on Etsy right now. So, but it was working, you know, when I had it. It's just eBay was just better for me. But
see, when you speak of diversification, out of all the people here, I really think Tonya is the most diversified, because all the different avenues that she's always talking about, I just think, my hell, I can't have a hard time just doing one. And she's doing, you know, antique malls and Etsy and coming and going and Amazon and eBay and, you know, local stuff. It's like, holy crap, how do you, and consignment, it's like, I don't know how you do it to keep track of all that.
Yeah, well, I'm used to it. I've been doing it for a while and I love it. And, you know, if you're passionate about something, it's not really work. Right.
True.
So, and that's a good point that you bring up, the consignment. So do you guys do any kind of consignment in your area? Anything at all?
Well, I don't use it to sell, but I guess I am the consignor, the consignee. Yeah, the consignee. I'm taking everybody's stuff in. I think consignment might be a good option for people that maybe they're not thinking about, whether it's an auction, online auction, or consignment shop. If you don't have space, you know, if you don't have a garage space or you don't have a lot of room to store things, it's a quick unload. You know, you're not going to make the margins that you would otherwise, but you drop it off and you're done with it. And then, you know, you get your check.
Right. And there's not all the work involved, right, of taking the pictures and listing it, writing the description and shipping it. So definitely.
So what's a typical consignment fee? Because like I asked at like one of our local places, like I said, I live in a small town, so I got to be really careful because they had told me that they take like 65% and then they start dropping it. Yeah, well, they'll start dropping the price after, I think it's like 2 weeks. It goes to like 75%. You know, where it goes to like 25% off, then it's like 50% off. Then it goes like 90% off. And I'm like, if they're selling this for 90% off and they're taking 65%, I've lost money. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and I think the window on that is like a 2-month window for all that to basically go through. And I'm like, man, I go, how do you make any, you know, how do I as a reseller make any money going to a consignment?
Right. I think that the place where I consign, they take 50% of whatever I sell. And to me, it's still good money because if I pick up a shirt for 25 cents and I make $2.50 off of it, that's still a profit for me. And when I take a bunch of clothing in there, it adds up really fast. And so it's just a nice little paycheck that I pick up at the beginning of every month, you know. So I enjoy doing it.
Yeah. So but they don't alter the price though at the consignment shop that you go to, because like I said, the one that that's in my area, they actually start adjusting the price, and then you still get stuck with that 65% of the adjusted price. Actually, you're only getting 45%, but
eventually, I believe it does go 50% off. But like I said, I'm not really into it for very much money, so it doesn't really bother me very much. I'm still going to make some kind of a profit. Right. And you have to keep in mind that the items I take in there, they usually don't put over $10 on an item. So it's going to be pretty low cost anyway to begin with.
Right.
So have to give a shout out to Mo of Reseller Niche Podcast. He says, awesome topic. Love hearing about new ways and new places to sell. Can't wait for Monday morning. Yay. Thanks, Mo.
We got a question from Zahir. He wants to know, Pete, are there any updates on the app that you showed on your channel where you list using video? I believe that was a local-based app.
Yes and no. And the reason I'm going to say yes, there is an update, but these guys are not working fast enough as they should. When they originally made the app available, it was only available for iPhone. And within 3 months, they said they were going to make it available for Android as well. Well, it's been half a year now, and they're dragging their feet. They're having some issues. It's not available. and they're missing out. I mean, big time, because Android is such a huge market right now that if they can't get this going, that app is that's going to be a dead app, basically. You know, I did make few sales out of that app. I had kind of couple cool videos, 20-30 second videos that I put on there, and I did made some sales out of it, but it gained some traction within the first like 30 days, and within the last 5 months it's totally losing. I mean, there's no new customers coming in, there's no new things being uploaded to the app, so it's not interesting anymore, and these guys are struggling. So that's what happens when you start playing this game and you don't have enough investors, you don't have enough capital, and things just catch up with you. You know, it was a great idea, but you know, they didn't execute it right. So I supposed to actually talk to him beginning of next month, within a few days, to get some updates from them. We'll see what happens.
Okay. The Comfortable Life asks if anybody uses Mercari for things other than clothes and jewelry. I've never sold on Mercari. I've heard about it, but it seems like they kind of had their day and, you know, everybody's already on to the next thing. I mean, what do you guys think?
I never sold on it either, but you know, for a long time in the beta version, it was all free. Everything was free, and I think that's what brought a lot of people to it. But you know, after the beta ended, it's just like anything else. And I think it was a good marketing idea to offer free and try and get as many people in as they could, so that when they did go, you know, paid, that some would stay. But I never had anything sell. I mean, I tried, I think, once, and I was like, this is not working for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did y'all used to use Bonanza at all? Like, I used
Yeah,
Bonanza for like, and I actually got like, I would get like 2 to 3 sales a month.
Really?
But
I think I'm actually still on Bonanza.
Yeah,
I don't think I ever shut it down.
But then I had a few problems with it, like syncing with eBay. Like, it would sell and then it wouldn't take it off of eBay like it was supposed to. And I had that problem a couple of times. And then I kind of had a moral problem with just their whole model, their whole business model, which was basically leeching off of eBay. You know, so I
never thought about it that way. But yeah, you could totally import every single one of your listings and have it over there.
Yeah, it was just kind of, and then I wondered, like, who are these people that are going to Bonanza? Like, what is this? Like, why would you go to Bonanza versus eBay as a buyer?
Right.
I never understood that. Like, I didn't understand, you know, where these guys were even coming from. So I just shut it down just to kind of focus a little better.
Right. Go ahead.
Wasn't Bonanza an old TV show?
Oh, yeah. Also a real cheap steak restaurant back in like the 80s. And
oh my gosh. So Reseller Niche Podcast, Mo asked, says he would love to hear about anyone that has used Poshmark. Also the differences between Let Go and OfferUp. I have sold I haven't sold anything yet, but I have maybe 3 listings over on Poshmark. And I hear it's a great platform, and I know a lot of people that are doing really well over there with that. But for me, it's just too many eggs in my basket, right? I cannot take the time to learn Poshmark also in addition to everything else I'm doing, at least not right now anyway, maybe in the future. But what about y'all? Have y'all ever sold on Poshmark?
this is not a good panel for that, I don't think.
No.
Yeah, I guess that kind of is a ladies thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm kind of like Tonya. Everything I've heard about Poshmark, you know, it's really good for like clothing sellers and stuff like that, like vintage clothing and that sort of stuff.
Right.
I mean, that stuff goes great there. But yeah, I haven't experimented with it myself.
I've heard it's like Etsy with the social game. You've got to get it built up.
Yep.
Probably, yeah.
That's exactly right. I mean, you got to build your following on Poshmark, lots of designer stuff. And if you get it going, I mean, there's some serious sellers on Poshmark, and they're making, you know, some big bucks. But just like we are, let's say, focused totally, for example, on eBay, and you got it down to, you know, I mean, you know exactly what's happening every single minute, how you do things, you know, and you have your following and your customers. That's how you got to focus on that platform as well. So, and there's a lot of successful people on Poshmark. So
there is. And I was watching somebody the other day, Love Always by Steph, who was on Golden Finger Pickers channel the other day. And man, she actually, I mean, guys, there's so many ways to resell. Blows my mind.
Yes.
She actually pays, what do they call it? Influencers, you know, to like, I don't know exact. I just heard her say that she like uses influencers to help her market her product. So she'll find people on like Instagram. I'm thinking probably mostly Instagram, maybe YouTube, to help market the product. And I mean, there's some people doing some like really crazy things as far as like the social networking and like actually straight up just paying influencers to help you sell your stuff. You know,
like
I'm
lobbyists.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, eBay is mostly like, okay, I'm going to buy this, post it, and then eBay already has the market. It'll sell, right? A lot of these other places, it's more like, okay, I'm going to find the product, and then I also got to, you know, really get creative and market it. So I thought that was pretty interesting though. And I know she does a lot of sales like on Instagram and stuff too. So, I mean, there's people doing it like, there's a million different ways to do this thing though. Right.
Right. And I just thought of another place I also sell is swap.com. So again, like when I go to garage sales and if I find clothing really cheap, I can always send a box over there, and that's just another way for, you know, me to collect some money. I think they send a direct deposit to my PayPal account. I mean, I'm not a big seller over there. I've only done it a few times, but it's definitely another option for people to think about, especially the clothing sellers. If they get overwhelmed and they might have too much inventory, it's a good way to also move some stuff if you don't have any consignment, you know, locally.
Do you use, Lonnie, for media?
But I'm sorry, what's your question?
Oh yeah.
What's the site that you use for media where you just kind of send a bulk in there and they give you, you know, pennies on the dollar? But
yeah. To get rid of just like junk media, it's called it's Declutter.
Declutter, yeah.
Yeah, it's also known as I know we have a few UK viewers here. I think it's also known as Music Magpie over like in Europe. So
I like that name.
Yeah. Same company though.
Right. And so since we're talking about media, another way I might move some of my media is half price books. So that's a good way to make some cash as well. You can take your, you know, your books, CDs, DVDs in there, and they'll give you cash for them. Cool. So again, if I'm at a garage sale and I see all the books are 10 cents and they look like they're really good quality, especially the hardback books, I will pick them all up and just take them right over to half price books and get some cash for them.
That's cool. And you know, that's what's that kind of brings to mind something that I was thinking about. Like on eBay, I feel like you're able to squeeze out every last ounce of profit if you want, right? But like you were talking about, Tonya, if you just grab a box, and I've done this too with like CDs.
Yes.
Grab a box at a garage sale and you plop it on the desk over at half price books. What do you care if your margin is not that high? Yeah,
you don't. Right. So you're gonna win, come out on top either way. So
yeah, and they're doing all the damn work, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did that as well. I when I used to do storage auctions, I ended up with a whole bunch of vinyl, and you know, I'd look through it really quick, see if there's anything crazy. But basically, I went to my local place called Randy's Records, right? And I just gave them all to him, and I came back 2 later, and he gave me like $17. You know, he had it all broken down. Okay, I'll give you a quarter for this one, and you know, I was in the whole, you know, storage unit, $100, and I had already made my money back. But it was a way to get some kind of return.
Right.
Definitely.
That's like John. John wants to make. Well, John, I'll let you speak for John since you're actually here. but no, John. What I love about your bit, man, dude, that's a cool T-shirt. I just noticed it, by the way.
Thanks.
I like it.
It's not vintage.
No, it's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
But John, he can't like he can't make maximum ROI on the stuff in his warehouse, or his warehouse he would need a new warehouse every week, right, John? I mean, you got to flip that thing every single week.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky. I've changed things around a lot, and it's always evolving. I'm actually getting ready to change it all again, but I've got a little section, maybe like 15 by 15. That's like my eBay stuff. And then I've got a lot of the rest of it is the actual stuff that's on my website that I auction off every week. But yeah, every week we're moving 400 items. And, you know, people were asking about the consignment fees earlier. Most auction houses or online auction houses are between 30 and 40%. And we're at 30%. And even though it's not a good margin, I know I'm going to sell 400 items every week, and I'm going to get 30% of those items. So really the idea is to get the average item price up and to do more items. I think in about 6 to 8 weeks, we're going to move to 2 auctions a week. And slowly we're going to be doubling how many items we're doing. So, you know, 400 now, and then 600, and then 800, and kind of split it up between 2 auctions and see how that goes.
Really?
This is more about quantity than it is quality. Like Lonnie was saying, you're not trying to get top dollar, but you're moving tons of product.
Yes and no. So yes, I want the quantity, but the quality has to stay there too. So I can't put junk on there for a couple reasons. If I put junk, people won't come back, and I won't make money. So if it sells for $3, you know, I get about $1, but I lose money because I paid my guys to put that on there. So it's figuring out what will sell for decent money and all that.
But ultimately, you have to flip the whole warehouse, except for your little eBay area every week. Is like your goal. Yep.
Now, how much of your stuff does not actually sell? I mean, that just gets 0 bids.
We're at 1% right now.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
So about 400 items a week, and about 4 don't get bids.
Man,
that's great.
Now we start everything at $1 though, so you know it's. I don't know if people just don't see those items, or we just shouldn't have put them on to begin with. But yeah, we're at about a 1% no bids right now.
Wow.
Oh
my first auction was about a 50% no bid, I think.
Well, that's why you've grown your brand. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I got a question for you guys. We haven't talked about a very, very big player in this game, the Facebook Marketplace. Have you guys used the Facebook Marketplace?
I actually
were you not paying attention earlier?
That was before the show started. That was before the show started, Andy.
Oh, is that? Oh, okay, maybe we were.
Good memory, Don.
Yeah, I love the Facebook Marketplace. I mean, for me in my area, that works great. And especially like during for me, like during football season, that's, you know, I'm in the house a lot more. So, you know, I don't mind like, you know, like in the morning, I might put a whole bunch of stuff up on the Facebook Marketplace. Then people like, well, I'm just doing whatever. I'll get people just coming to my house. You know, sometimes I swear my neighbors think I'm a drug dealer, you know, depending on what all I'm putting up. You know, like picked up a whole crap load of Under Armour hoodies, or I just would get a whole lot of hoodies during you know, garage sale season. And then once football season started, fall started coming around, I would just start listing all these hoodies early in the morning, and people would just keep coming to my house all day long, and they're grabbing hoodies. But I mean, you know, so it's like people just roll up real quick, you know, they're giving me a couple bucks and out the door to go. So,
right.
I mean, it literally looks like, you know, I mean, I swear to God, I'm slinging out my front door, you know.
Oh, that's funny.
but it was so quick. I mean, it would be nothing for me to knock $200-300 out while watching a couple football games, though. I mean, it was just, yeah. I mean, you know, because my wife used to work Sundays, so a lot of times, you know, I'm just sitting there doing nothing. And, you know, I figure if I'm sitting there watching TV, I might as well be hustling. I might as well be trying to do something, make a couple bucks. And, you know, that's what I would do. Yeah.
I've had something similar happen, too. Like, I haven't tried the new Facebook groups, but I have sold on Garage Sale. Like, instead of a G, it's with a V. And it's like a mommy market for this area. So really, I'm only dealing with the women. So I don't have to worry about any men. And I do the porch pickup. And so I've often thought the same thing, Andy, because like people will pull up to my house, you know, they'll put money under my mat and then walk off real fast. But sometimes, you know, I could have 2 or 3 pickups in one day. And I know it can get a little suspicious looking.
Yeah.
Guys, I have a question for y'all, and this is Krillin876 asked the question, but I'm not really sure. Is Facebook Marketplace an actual website, or are they private groups for certain areas? And I know it's not a website; it's part of the Facebook app or site. But does Facebook Marketplace, like when you tap on the little marketplace thing, does that only show you the ones that you're actually a member of, the groups that you're a member of? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think
and then you
so.
just select, you can select up to 10 of them, I think, that you can send to the marketplace.
I think you can actually set up a mile perimeter, how big of an area you want to cover and you want to be searching.
Right. And I think you even, you can list your item once and whatever, somebody told me this, and whatever groups you want to sell in, maybe you just check it. I don't know how it works, but you just list it one time and boom, it shoots it to all the groups that you want it to.
Exactly.
Without having to go to each group individually.
Yeah. Yep. That's good, because I used to used to sell there a lot more. And man, it was a pain in the butt cross posting, and also looking at all the cross posts from other people sucked. So that's good. Glad.
Another thing I've noticed with the Facebook groups is the niche groups. So we have a Cincinnati Reds memorabilia collector group that has 6,000 members.
Wow.
And if I've got something, it's pretty rare that I do it, but if I've got something unique or, that I think only maybe one or two guys want, I'll throw it on there, and it usually sells pretty quick.
Yeah. I just noticed my lower third is gone. Wonder why that happened.
It hadn't been here the whole show.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Oh no.
You had it when before it started. I noticed it before it started.
Oh, you know what? Remember when it kicked me out? I bet you.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Up North Sales, Cincinnati Picker. Do you ever want to buy stuff people bring in? Okay, buy instead of cosign, or no, consign, however you say it. To buy stuff people bring in because it's so profitable on eBay, or is that a big no-no?
That's a big no-no. I work for my consigners, okay? So there's an honest relationship there. There's a trust. And when they bring me something, the last thing I want to do is swindle them out of the money, okay? So I've had some people bring me things, and I'll know about it. I'll say, look, this is a $300 item on eBay. And sometimes I'll say, you have that route to go that way if you want, but I'd love to help you sell it. And they say, yeah, that's fine. So we'll post it. And if it's kind of a niche item or something that not a lot of people know, I've got a handful of guys that I know buy and resell. So I'll say, hey, you might not have known about this item, but now you do. So heads up, this is a high dollar item. We'll actively advertise it. We'll push it. We'll do all that. And then it goes to the highest bidder. But I never buy, and I don't bid on that item either. I don't buy items on my site to resell.
So have you ever had someone approach you with an item and say, hey, CP, I want you to sell this on eBay for me? Would you do that? Or
I've had some approach me about it, but I don't do it.
Okay.
I just don't, that's a whole nother thing I really don't want to get into.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I feel like it might take over, my own auction business. I'm doing, all the good stuff goes on eBay, and then the other piddly stuff goes on my auction website, and that's not what I'm trying to do.
So it could be like a slippery slope.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Now, John, do you have customers that will come in and they will say, this item I want you to auction, but these couple items here, I don't care. If you want to buy them from me, you can buy them from me. Did you ever run into a situation like that?
Very rarely. Sometimes, every once in a while, somebody just doesn't want to go the auction route, and they'll say, hey, just buy it from me and I'll do it. I'll buy it. I try to appease people as best I can, because it's really just a matter of building that relationship with them, because I want them to keep coming back. I want them to keep bringing me items. And Pete, I'm sure you're the same way. You can tell in your videos you treat people with respect, and you try to pay as much as you can. You're not trying to, swindle anybody or cheat anybody. You look it up on eBay right in front of them. It's very transparent.
Right.
So that's pretty cool.
I tell them right up front, and this is the item that it goes for. This is what I can pay you. This is what's involved for me to sell it, and I'm here to make money. Simple.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So Angie was asking, what flipping avenue is best to start out for newbies? What do you guys think?
When I read that, I wasn't sure she meant like other than eBay and Amazon and the normal online ones.
I don't know either.
Does she mean locally, Angie?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Maybe she just means what, like if she...
In general, yeah.
Yeah, just in general.
I would definitely say eBay. I mean, to me, eBay's very user-friendly.
So. I disagree.
Yeah,
Really? What would you say?
I would say your local Facebook groups for sure.
Yeah.
That's easy. That's the easiest place.
Yeah.
You don't have to ship, you know.
Yeah. You don't have to take
no
pictures.
rules
Well,
involved.
you do have to take pictures. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of us could take for granted, you know, how much stuff we know when it comes to eBay. Go ahead, Pete. Sorry, bud.
No, it's cool. Another way is, and I get a lot of these sellers into my shop too. A lot of them are new. They'll buy things on, you know, at the thrift shop or garage sale. They buy it for $1. They know it's worth 20. They come to me and they sell it for $6. You know what I mean? And they get the money in hand. They can turn around and go out the same day or afternoon and buy more crap. I mean, I have sellers coming in all the time to me and selling me. They just, you know, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to take pictures. I don't want to list on eBay. I don't want to list on OfferUp. I just want a quick flip, quick buck. A lot of people do that. I mean, that's where the local
Guys,
game.
need a 6-pack of beer.
Oh my goodness! I just had a sale. Lonnie the DM sold. Yay!
Nice.
Yay!
So look,
I actually texted Tonya about it earlier. Go ahead, Tonya. I'm sorry.
I was going to try and show you, but I can't see if you can see it or not. Can you see it?
Yeah, your item sold $79.99 for
Ooh,
your
nice.
3DS.
Yep.
Yeah, and I paid $5 for it.
Nice.
Nicely done, Tonya.
Thanks.
Very well.
Very good.
So drink up.
Oh, shit.
I'm in.
I was
I
hoping
got to
to
get
that part. I'll do a shot for you because
Drink that tea, Pete.
All right, there you go, Tonya, right there.
Okay, yay. All
Oh,
right.
God.
So was that a shot of Fireball or that Captain stuff you're drinking?
Fireball.
Oh, okay. Boy, you keep that close on the desk there, don't you?
Actually, I had to go out and buy it because Rolling Picker, okay, for some of you that don't know, Rolling Picker, that clock right there, is a Fireball clock. And he won it on an auction, and he sent it to me. And one of the stipulations was that I would do a shot of Fireball on air, you know, calling him out and doing it on air. So I actually had to go buy yesterday. I had to go buy some Fireball just so I could do that shot. So, and of course, you can't buy in Utah, you can't buy mini bottles. You have to buy basically a half pint or more. Darn it.
Darn.
What's up, Jory? How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you guys?
Hey,
Good,
Jory.
man.
Oh, Jory sent you
Hey,
that.
Jared.
Yeah, it was busy on the house.
Very good.
We've been
So,
talking about selling on different platforms.
Selling on different platforms.
Right.
I'm mainly Etsy, Amazon, eBay, and then a little bit of local stuff.
That's
And then-
awesome. I didn't know you sold on Etsy.
I do, yeah. And then I guess this house would be a flip too when it's done.
Nice.
Are you going to sell it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to sell it as soon as I'm done with
Oh,
it.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Fully plan on listing it and selling it.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So you're a house flipper too?
This will be the first time, so I guess so.
So what are
Wow,
y'all going to
yeah,
do
that's
after that, Jory? You going to find another house to flip? Or are you going to go to an apartment or what? What's the plan?
I'm either going to buy a duplex, like a rental duplex, or we're just going to find a house that we want to live in and end up buying it. This one was just so cheap and it fell into our lap, so we took it.
That's awesome. So I have to say, Roland Picker, Michael just told Dwayne, quit your whining.
No.
That's so funny. Okay, well, I thought of something else real quick that I do from time to time for all the mommies out there, and that is a storefront called Once Upon a Time. So you can take your gently worn clothing in there, and they will give you cash for it. You don't have to wait around for consignment or anything. They will just straight up give you cash for your clothes. So That's another way that you can make some money if you're a mummy.
It's essentially kind of like a Plato's Closet, but for kids.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess so. I've never sold the Play-Dohs. Can you do that? I guess you can.
Yeah. But especially like if you have high ends. I mean, they pretty much only want like high end stuff.
But they turn away. Like my wife brought some pretty good stuff to them one time, and they turned away like 60-70% of it.
I think
Oh,
they're
wow.
pretty trendy, right?
They're pretty.
You have to.
I heard they're very picky. Yeah, very picky.
I know they have really good sales. I've heard some of my friends saying when they go, they get like 90% off. I guess they do a really big sale at some point in the year.
Yeah. The nearest one to me is about an hour away, so it's hard to do that. But you know, I'll pop in every once in a while. I see Jennifer Santiago said that Once Upon a Time is actually part of Plato's Closet. So.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That's interesting. But now that I think about it, the location of the one that I use is actually right by a Plato's Closet, so I guess that makes sense.
Sure.
So,
I was going to say another thing that John was talking about, that he used to, getting sports equipment and taking it to your local Play It Again Sports or your sports store and selling it to them.
That's a really good idea. I know that
I've never done it, but he has. So
yeah, and I know Chris, the Bonafide Hustler, he does that too. So
a lot of money in sporting goods.
Yeah,
I did that with some skates.
I've kind of turned sporting goods into, a nice little stream. It used to be my only stream when I very first started, but now, it's probably $200-300 a week.
Nice.
Wow.
that is nice.
Not shabby.
Nice little chunk of change, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
It's really just about figuring out what your store needs. Find your local sporting goods store, see what they sell and what they need, and go find it for them. And, people just give us stuff away most of the time.
And I'm waiting on your video on baseball gloves now.
Yeah, you've
I'll
been
do
putting
it,
out some
Lonnie.
really good content.
I'll do it just for you.
Do it for me, but you'll probably have thousands that'll thank you later. I promise.
Yeah, I'd be all about that myself,
Yeah.
man.
Really, I mean, I've
sure.
watched your bat one and your golf club one, and I'm both of them had really good information. Stuff that now, instead of looking at it and going, yeah, that kind of looks cool, now I have some idea of what I'm looking at.
Right. I'm glad you guys
Good
enjoyed
job,
it.
John.
Yeah, sporting goods are probably
Yeah.
the only thing I'm an expert on that I can kind of shed some light on things.
Oh, I got to ask Pete. I didn't get a chance. I saw the thumbnail right before we went live. Pete, what is that? Is that a television or a computer on your latest thumbnail?
That's a little tiny 9-inch Sharp TV from early 70s.
Cool.
And those kind of TVs, if you watch the video later, I have a little story about it. I absolutely love these TVs from late 60s to early 80s in a lot of different colors. JVC made them, Sharp made them, Sanyo made them. They sell like hotcakes. And the more crazy color you can find, like a chartreuse green or blue or red, they just sell instantly. I mean, instantly. And even if not working order, and of course, they're not going to work anyway unless you're using for old school gaming or something, because you can't get a signal on them anymore. People love these retro TVs. I mean, it's just, and I love selling them. I get
Oh, cha-ching.
My beer's full.
and a little bit of money here, so.
Whoa.
Oh wow, nice sell.
2 items.
Well, I can't.
2 items.
Two?
Hurry up.
Did you hear that, Dwayne? You have to take 2 more shots.
Whoa! I don't
Hit
see
it,
you
hit
killing your margarita or whatever you're drinking.
Yeah, I'm drinking it.
Yeah, drinking. I said kill it.
No, I'll get brain freeze.
Yeah.
No.
I sold a crimper. It's like a hose crimper. It's a very expensive machine. Sold for $1,000.
Whoa!
And,
Holy
Nice.
shit!
Wow.
Dang.
and a vacuum accessory for a shark for $72.
Wow.
Is that your dog, Tonya? It sounds
No,
like
that one's
not,
mine.
not this time.
Oh, okay. No, but Pete, I sold a. It's been a few months back. I bought a Sony Trinitron, like probably a 12-inch at a Goodwill.
Those will sell really good, but they gotta be the hand, not the remote control steel, but the hand flipping channels, right?
Right. Yeah.
The two or three knobs up front. Yeah, those
Yeah.
sell really, really good. I mean, all that kind of retro stuff, people buy it for display, or some movie set will buy it from you, for production for some kind of movie to stick it on a display,
Yeah.
It probably was for a prop. I paid, I think, $2.99 for it and sold it fairly quickly for $100. And only like when I would flip it on, only about half the screen would light up. And I just put parts as is, not working, whatever. And somebody bought it and they paid like $40 shipping.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, they're a pain.
That orange one I sold 170, I think, or 175.
Wow.
And like instantly, within just few hours,
Nice.
Like you could have got even a little more money for it, huh?
It would be a little bit pushing. I was at
No?
the top of the market on that one.
Oh, okay. I found that color matters a lot with that vintage stuff. Color is everything.
They want color?
They
Well,
want
no,
gotta
just
make
what
it
color
match-
is
Oh,
it?
match
yeah.
their
Yeah, and I'll drop you guys I'll drop you guys a nugget here. Another big thing right now is typewriters from 60s and 70s in the same colors. Not the old, antique ones from 1920s or 30s. The ones now from 50s, 60s into 70s with that bright kind of chartreuse greeny color like inside of my cup here. Green ones, blue ones, orange,
Huh.
I
pink.
just sold 2 this month.
Oh,
If
wow.
you
They're all
find-
pastel, right?
Yep. And if you find like a pink one, holy shit, you'll sell that thing in 3 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, I always pick up the vintage electronics when I see them, and I put them in my antique booth, like the typewriters. And I picked up a TV not too long ago. I haven't really done anything with it. I'll have to show you guys and see what you think. But I was just going to redonate it. Maybe I will put it in my booth. I don't know. I got it for free.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I got a brailler
Okay,
for
here's a
free that I
question.
just sold for, I think, like $130, $140.
What is a brailler? That makes like things that
So blind
that
people
makes
can read.
braille.
Yeah.
Okay. That actually makes the media.
The dots.
Yeah. A Perkins brailler. Yeah, I found a few of them
Ah,
now.
cool.
Mhm.
Oh, that's cool. So in the sun by the beach asks, Pete, in some of your videos, you started to do clothes and shoes on eBay. Are you still doing it? And if so, how much?
great question.
I am. I have a separate store designated to clothing. And right now, I was up to at one point, about 400 items of clothing. We slowly dropped, and I probably got about 120, 150 items there now. And it's only vintage clothing and shoes, nothing else.
Do you have any of those cross-posted on Etsy?
No, I don't. Like I said, I stayed from Etsy away probably for a good year now. But shoes are selling extremely well. Almost every day we sell something. And like I said, I only have about 120 items, I think, right now there, because I haven't been sourcing for that kind of stuff lately at all. But it's selling. But the regular clothing, I'm staying away. It's just too much work for me. I can be putting my money into much better things.
Oh, goodness.
So,
Pete's on fire.
So,
So-
I mean,
was passing out.
it's a tough market, man. I put my head to all the people that deal with clothing, man. It's just not my
Yeah.
thing. I wanted to dabble with it. I wanted to learn some brands. So I just know, I mean, I still love picking up nice Harley Davidson leather jacket or, just nice Levi's, vintage, stuff like that. But just to go out and it's not my cup of tea,
Right. So Thelma has a question. She says, tell us about landline phones. My cell working or not?
I think she's asking, like, if they'll sell if they work or not, basically.
Right.
Another rotary phones, the ones where you put your finger in and do it all the way around. They go. The rotaries do pretty well.
Us older guys, we
It's
had
all
those.
about the color. Yeah, it's totally about the color when it comes to those phones. All about the color.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of that stuff is about the color. Oh, speaking of color, I was just going to say, Lonnie, that fan that you just picked up, that looked to be the same color as the inside of Pete's coffee mug.
Yeah, I'll go grab it real quick. Let me go.
Yeah,
grab
it's really neat.
I think the color is so key on that stuff. Like, those blues and just like the oranges. Even somebody sold something else. And before I go get that, I want to say, you're successful, like Pete, whenever you get a sale and it doesn't move your needle at all. Like me, when I get a sale, my needle goes bing. It's like, yeah, whatever.
I know. I get pretty excited too. I'm like, woo!
I'll go get the fan. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, this fan he's about to show, I think he picked it up this weekend at a garage sale for about $3. Awesome. And it looks to be really true vintage.
Yeah, it is. It's really clean too.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was thinking it was modern at first until he turned it around and was showing us some of the parts.
It has the two-prong plug, from the non-plug. So it's, yeah.
I love finding old fans like that. I've restored a few of them too. They're fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if he's got the retro one.
Oh, go ahead, Pete.
If he's got the retro one, like from late 60s, early 70s, that has the plastic blades in them, with the different, they made them in different colors. Like
that's what he said. His is plastic blades, metal with plastic blades, and it's like you said, that baby robin's egg blue or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, that shed is super hot right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
nice. He'll be happy to hear that.
So I haven't come across fan like that in many years now. I had a couple long time ago. I haven't seen one since.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the price. It was so cheap on there.
Pete, man, your phone is going to die with all those sales, man.
Sorry, guys.
No, don't apologize. That's awesome.
Just selling a few things. Sunday night, the best day, man.
Yeah, we need to move this show.
See, here's that fan. Here's that. This is one of the colors you'll probably do pretty well with.
Very cool.
Like the kind of this blue, aqua or whatever the hell you call that.
Baby blue.
So Lonnie, talk to Pete about it because he knows a lot about that fan. He says you got a good find there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's not like a monster find. It's probably going to end up being $50-$60 to be honest, but it's pretty good,
Everything works on it. How about that rotary on the back? Is that working?
I'm not sure that the oscillation works, which is pretty common for that to wear out that I've found. But
have you done any research yet?
Yeah.
On eBay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there any color just like it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sold before. Probably looking at 50-60. Pete, are you doing it again?
Gosh.
Sorry, guys.
Don't apologize.
Yeah.
What'd you sell?
You have to have now 12 shots, guys. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, Dwayne. Keep up.
Jeez, I could have bought
Wait, why are you looking at me? Why is it always on me, guys?
Thelma asked what the brand is. It's Westinghouse. It's probably 60s, I would guess. Would you say, Pete?
Yeah, late 60s to early 70s even. And then Westinghouse made them massively produced them back in the day.
Yeah.
So, but they're very desirable. People love this kind of, it's trending now like crazy. These colors, these fans, these TVs from that era is just insane.
Yeah, I feel like mid-century is really popular right now.
Oh,
even like with the furniture. I mean, I really like it myself too.
It's not even the brand, right? From that era, it's the shape. the curves and all that, and it's the colors, you know.
Yep.
And,
Definitely.
but when it comes to those fans, if you look on eBay, the ones that really sell, and maybe some of y'all have sold them, the ones with the shiny brass blades, those are the ones that get really big money, you know.
I've sold some of those on my website for like way over $100, and some of them were just huge blades. I mean, like twice the size of that blue one. It's crazy.
I got one over on my desk with the metal blades. Take your finger off, and like it's big enough you can stick your whole hand in the. They're not very safe.
They're not very safe, but those motors will run forever, and they're super quiet.
Oh yeah, it pushes more air than any new fan I have.
Yep.
Well, I learned something new tonight. I'm going to be looking for fans whenever I go to the garage sales.
Mine doesn't look as cool as Lonnie's. It's just an old heavy cast with the metal blades.
Those motors don't quit. Like you buy a fan today at Walmart, it'll probably weigh a third of what that one weighs. You know, the same size fan.
Yeah.
Because they're going to like overdrive that motor. They're going to make it to wear out after about 10 years. They don't care. You probably don't care either because you're going to get it cheap. You know,
it's a $10 fan. Yeah, what do you care when it breaks? You just go buy another one.
Right, but this thing will be running 50 years from now.
Yeah, and even you pushing 10 years, everything is made for 2-3 years these days. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, even the old ones that don't run, half the time I find it's just because they were dirty, just corrosion on contacts or something, or a bad wire, and
it's usually the wire.
Yeah,
that's why I don't even care. I don't even care if it runs, because 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a switch or a wire. And if you're comfortable with, you know, fixing that stuff, which is pretty minor,
yeah, it's pretty basic.
It's never the motor. Never the motor.
No.
So I don't know if you guys think this is if this really fits our topic or not, but I was thinking about Jory and Dwayne with the e-waste stuff. So do you feel like that's another way that you guys could be making some money or have made money in the past?
I don't scrap it. I mean, it's a good way to make money, but it's a lot of work if you want to scrap it, and it's a lot of dangerous chemicals. But there's plenty that you can sell. I love selling vintage computer parts. It's one of my favorite things to pick up and sell.
Yeah, again, another thing I would not think to pick up at a garage sale. I mean, unless it was a Mac, I'd probably pick up a Mac, but...
Oh,
yeah, I got one of those
too.
Colored ones. Yeah, like the G-Max, I think they're called.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you don't remember when they first came out?
And blues and stuff.
No, I got to the Apple game a little late. I think my first phone was like the iPhone 4. So, yeah. But now I would never go back. So I'm hardcore Apple fan.
Yeah, as an e-waste reseller, again, like you're really kind of at the mercy of the market. For a long time, gold was really high. Mm-hmm. So anything that you had a computer gold in it, and the older, you know, because gold was cheaper back in the 80s and 90s, you know, they didn't worry about it. They put lots of gold in. Now, you know, newer computers have a lot less gold. So when you're looking at e-waste, the older computers had tons of gold and everything was big, you know, bigger chips and everything. So that's worth lots of money. Like right now, in fact, I looked up today at a computer scrap, the Series 3, 6 and 486 chips, which they're about 2 inches square. Right now, you can sell them for $100 a pound. Mm-hmm. And it's about 10 or 11 chips to a pound.
Really?
They're so big.
That many?
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
or that few,
and it's about $100. And but you don't come across them very often. 386, 486s, you know, they're out there, but they're out a lot. So, and then recently, you know, probably in the last 2 years, the price of gold has gone way down. So of course, then scrapping is not nearly as you know, lucrative as it used to be. Same thing with copper. Copper is the same way. It's gone way down. It was really high for a long time, and that's when you heard of people, you know, stripping out buildings that they're building. You know, everybody going out and stealing all the copper wire because they'd sell it and make good money. So, but like Jory said, it is a lot of work.
And some of the parts now bring more money for the parts than they do scrap value.
Absolutely.
Like,
Oh
I tell
yeah.
people
for sure.
check what you get first, because some stuff will bring way more than the gold value in it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. To me, when I did it, I would get storage units and stuff, and then I started that e-scrap business. But that was kind of the last thing. You know, if I tried to sell it, it didn't sell, or if it wasn't worth anything, then went in the scrap pile to get it to reclaim
even
something.
The old tube TVs, you used to take the big copper chunk off the back of them, where the eye sits. There's that big coil, and like that was always $15 plus worth of copper when it was really up there.
Wow.
And like I said, I have a whole garage full of e-waste that I've got to get through. So
Yeah, you
when
do.
I get bored, I just go out and break it.
Also, I learned the hard way. If you're going to take apart an old TV, they hold charges in them sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, the capacitor.
Clean across the
Yeah.
knobs, yeah. Oh yeah, it hurt. Made the hair stand on end. That's for sure.
Oh, man. Short out your leads. Short out your capacity, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So.
so you guys were talking about that, and it just made me think of something else. Another way I make more money, or another avenue to make money, and that is like, you know, I buy the jewelry jars, and sometimes I'll find real gold in there, and I can take that to my jeweler and get some fast cash as well. And I was talking to Pete about it at the reseller rally, and I can't remember the number I told you, but my jeweler actually pays, I think it's 80%. So, I mean, he says that he pays better than anybody in the area. So,
I mean, is he only pays you 80%, or he pays across 80% because you are his good customer?
I know, right? I should get a little bit more since I'm his good customer, huh?
No, because a lot of, see, this is what happens with a lot of jewelers. They will, if you are constantly coming to them, they will pay you more. You know, because you're constantly bringing business to them. So, you know, 80% is actually very, very good. I mean, when we talked at the rally, I think you told me that he was paying about 75, 80%, right? And I told you to go out and talk to him and tell him, hey, I want 5% more.
I know. And Kurt's been pushing me too. I'm just too chicken. I'm so chicken to say anything, but I know I should. I need to.
Pete's cha-chings don't count anymore because he gets too many. But mine do. I sold a DS Lite for $35. Well, 34 something plus shipping right just now. So drink up.
Drink up, Dwayne.
Good job.
Hit that fireball.
Wow.
Why is it here? Drink up, guys.
Because you'll kill us, Pete. You're good.
I don't want to go to the hospital, for hell's sakes.
Drink up, guys. I mean, come on.
Whoa, look at that.
What if you sold like $500 in the last 30 minutes?
No, man, he sold one thing for $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. So you sold like $1,500.
Like $1,600.
Oh my gosh.
Why is it that you only
said that so casually?
Okay. I think I'm gonna go, guys.
Okay.
No, you had a question, Pete. Pete, you had a question. You said why, and then you said you got to go.
I said, why when I get my chichings, you guys don't drink, and somebody else gets a chiching, you guys drink? What's up with that?
Yeah. Okay. Let's drink. Everybody drink. Cheers.
I'll finish this off. And I gotta go get the bourbon.
Oh gosh.
You'll kill us. That's why. Look at you.
Drink up one more time.
It's way too expensive to have you on this show, Pete.
Right? Your store is like having a party. You are selling some stuff tonight.
I gotta go get more beer.
Wow.
Oh, Whitney is asking a question in the chat. Some person named Whitney Yarberry. Oh, John's away. Does CP's auction items count, because those are ending every minute now? His auctions end tonight while we're doing this show, so he's actually making money. If those counted, we would definitely be dead. He's probably going to sell at least 100 items, if not more, during the show, I would imagine.
Right.
Wow.
So, John,
Angie says she wants to be like Pete when she grows up.
What I miss?
That's amazing.
you missed Whitney trying to kill us by saying, "What about when your items sell at your auction, like every 30 seconds or a minute or whatever?"
God. Right, that's just constant cha-chings.
How many, John, how many items are listed currently on your website, on your auction site?
So that's a good question. Let's look really quick. I know it's over 400, and the auction begins to end at 7, and I do 3 items that end every minute so that they're kind of staggered. So people can kind of bid on some, and then it ends, and then they can bid on more, and it kind of turns into like a 3-hour bidding span for them to kind of like,
Right.
I know a lot of people just sit.
John, can you screen share it?
How do I do that in the chat?
Do you have a soft close for your online auction?
Oh, what?
Do you have like a soft close for your online auction if people bid right at the last minute?
I do, yeah. So if somebody bids in the last 2 minutes, then it extends it 2 minutes.
Cool.
I'm looking right now. I know it's over 400 items that ended tonight, like 420, 430, something like that.
Now, is Sunday also one of the best days for you, or how does that work for you on your site?
Yeah, I always make sure they end Sunday, so I try to be consistent. I always upload it Monday mornings, and then it ends Sunday night at 7, and with them being staggered like that. So this auction had 447 items.
Wow.
And pretty much everything will sell?
Yeah, I think was when your router crashed. We were talking about that. We're at about a 1% non-sale rate right now.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it used to be a lot higher, but right now we're only at about a 1%, which is good.
John, what's the best item you're selling tonight, would you say?
I just pulled up a page and we had a Nintendo Power Glove. The current bid is up to 61, but there might be something higher than that. I'm not sure.
That's not too bad, man. I sold one of those a couple years ago, and that's in the range.
What's I'm just kind of curious. So about 400 items, right? Should be ending roughly. What's like average price, ticket price?
Right now we're at about $12 to $13.
Okay.
For a while we were at like 7 to 8, and I'm constantly trying to increase the quality to get that average price up.
Okay.
So I have a question for you, Pete. Is having an auction site like that something you've ever thought of doing?
You know what? Actually, not the auction site, but I really, really wanted a live auction in my place for the longest time. And I had some issues trying to get a license for it in my state here. So later on, I decided maybe I'm going to use just a licensed auctioneer. I also have a couple problems with that. So I kind of gave up a little bit on that idea. But even on my sign on one side of the building, it says buy, sell, trade, and auctions. That was one of the plans that I was planning for my back warehouse, to have auctions. So I still maybe come back to that one day, because I just love auctions. I really do enjoy them a lot. When I go bidding on stuff, and just the whole atmosphere is so cool.
Yeah, I agree.
But far as I'm sorry to answer your question, doing a website, no, I never thought about doing anything online.
Right.
So Todd had a great question, John. How do you up your auction price since you don't know what your consigners will bring?
Does he mean like the percentage that I take, or what it sells for?
I think he's talking. You went from $7 to $12, average. So how can you adjust that by what you consign?
So I adjust it by actively trying to find more consigners. All right, so we'll call people on Craigslist ads. I hand out cards everywhere I go. I hand out cards at yard sales. I go to antique shows. I hand out cards. I'm constantly trying to get more stuff in the door. So as I get more and more in the door, I can be pickier about what goes on. And I'm learning more and more what my bidders want and what they don't want. So a lot of the stuff I just turn away and I say, hey, we can't sell this. And that's kind of how we're going up and up with our average price.
So
Makes sense.
is your site just for local people, or can anybody?
Yeah, anybody can bid. We ship too.
Okay.
It's mostly the smaller stuff. You know, we don't have a
Okay.
huge shipping outfit, but yeah, we do a little bit of shipping too.
So then I'm not special then, right? I thought you were just
Of course
shipping it
you're
for me,
special,
but you
Tanya.
ship it for everybody. Okay, well
course
that's a
you're
good
special.
thing. That's good. I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.
Your website says no shipping, though, doesn't it,
Yeah,
John? So
I
you
need
want
to
people to
change
like
that.
contact you?
Yeah, I need to change that. It's we've had a lot of issues with shipping in the past. You know, just scammers and people backing out, and it's just kind of been a pain. But I think we're going to start shipping again.
I've gotten 2 things from John, by the way, and they both arrived A-OK.
Awesome.
All good.
Okay, I'm supposed to be moderating this. What do you guys want to talk about? Does anybody have any questions in the chat? Oh, thanks you guys for saying I'm special.
I don't know. I don't know if they're
10K on
saying
the-
you're special or you're special.
Oh, shut up, Dwayne.
It could be either way. I mean, well, I'm just saying what they're saying there. It could be either way.
Oh boy. You have been on a rant today, haven't you?
Some days, I just got to do that way.
Yep.
So 10K on the base says, John, how long does it take to put an item on your auction site versus a different platform like eBay?
That's a good question.
I'd say about the same. So I'm not the one that actually does it. I've got a guy that does the pictures, and then they've got this whole system set up where he takes the picture, he hands it to the other guy. That guy does the description. They put a sticker on it, and then they've got this big rolling rack that they put it on, and then they put it over to the shelf. So they move pretty quick. They'll do like 30, 40 items in an hour.
Yeah, that's a lot of items.
That's good. Wow.
You have a shooter, a describer, but what is your team again? Say.
I have a photographer and someone who writes the descriptions.
But you called him the describer before, right?
You called him. I think you called him the describer.
No, I think
And the best part about everything, John, is that even if you make a boo-boo or you list something with a title of Velcro on it, nobody
Right.
can get, right?
Right. Everything's as is. I am completely upfront and honest with all my bidders, though. I tell them if we've tested something and we say that it works and it doesn't work, then bring it in. I'm not going to sell somebody a lemon on purpose. If we haven't tested it, we always say untested. And we do the previews too. Like people come in on Tuesday and Wednesday, they'll plug things in and they'll play with them. And so they get a good idea before they bid.
Now, is most of the bidders local, or a lot of them are out of state as well?
I'd say 90% are local, and then we've got some out-of-staters that'll come. They'll come through once a month or once every other week and pick their stuff up, and then a little bit of shipping too.
Cool.
Yeah. Reseller Niche Podcast, Mo in the comments, or in the chat rather, asked, CP, what stuff would not sell on your auction site, or would you have turned down?
It's kind of the same stuff that doesn't sell anywhere, like VCRs VCRs kind of sell on eBay, but they're so niche. There's so few people that want them. So the trick with the auction website is it all starts at $1, and I need people to bid and fight for it. So I need at least 2 or 3 people that want it bad that are going to bid that price up. So
Right.
niche stuff and stuff that just doesn't have value, we just don't sell.
Right. We have another question from Not So Perfectly Me. Can you talk about how you do the sell similar section on eBay listings?
Wait, what's the question? I'm sorry, Tonya.
Can you talk about how you do the sell similar section on eBay listings? Well, I don't know about, yeah, you just push the button, right?
Yeah, I click on the listing and it says like, does it say sell one like this, or does it say sell similar, or
It says sell one like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I click on that and then I make, if it got a lot of money, sometimes I won't even touch the title. And then I'll,
Yeah, that's a good point that you bring up, definitely.
I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it'll just say sell one like this, and it'll just generate the listing for you.
Yeah.
You go in and just change whatever you need to change.
Right. Okay, so Whitney ask, where do you see reselling going 5 years from now? What's the next big thing? eBay, Craigslist, Facebook, Marketplace?
You know what I think? I think it's like Pete got involved with, or Pete showed on his channel. I think it's all about the video. Right. I really, really do. Video. Like, look at all the people watching right now. I don't know how many there are. Have we checked in lately? How many are
109? Yeah.
Videos
people love video.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take over with the next few years, big time. Maybe, I mean, don't get me wrong. For some things, you don't need a video. I don't know if I want to be putting on shoes or jacket or pants on and showing off that kind of stuff. But anything that it's kind of mechanical or electronic, it does help tremendously. People are visual and they like seeing it. That's why they come to YouTube. They watch, it's just
right.
I think it's just a matter of time that there will be somebody, but it has to be with big pockets, because just to host so much video, it's got to be a big player that know what they're doing. So,
right.
Well, you never know. That could be the next big thing with clothing too. Maybe people want to see a video, like how does it look when you do a little spin, or
maybe you're right.
It might be a good selling point.
Maybe you're right. I mean, that's why all the influencers are making all this kind of money, because brands are reaching out to them. They putting a jacket on them. They putting a hat on them. Just wear my sneakers. Just go out there and show off my stuff. So obviously it's working.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to try that. Now I have to, and if anybody is interested, Lonnie has a video on how to incorporate a video into your eBay listing, which I still haven't watched the whole thing. I need to do it.
It's a good one.
Oh, it's awesome. I really, seriously though, I hope that eBay will embrace the video more than they already have. I think they're working on it. They actually have it, I think, on their page that they're going to roll out something to do with, like, how you could just add pictures by clicking on the plus thing.
Yep.
Hopefully they'll have a video plus that you can hit at some point.
It has to. I'm surprised they're not doing it yet. But I think they'll do it. They'll do something soon, and it doesn't have to be anything long. I mean,
no.
Even if it's like a 10-second or 15-second that you can do, so it doesn't take a lot of space or a lot of service that they need to have or whatever they, use. I mean, I can't imagine all of a sudden millions and millions of listings, going live. It's got to be huge to handle some, so much data. We'll see what happens.
You guys were talking about the evolution of selling. I think social media is going to be more and more. It's just going to explode even more than it has, and people are going to buy things because they either follow you or they like you or whatever it is. But social media sales, I think, are just going to increase.
And it's already happening, and it's just, it's going to get bigger, and more people are going to get into it, and it's just the beginning. I can't imagine what's going to happen 5-10 years from now.
Yeah, definitely. So many people already sell on Instagram. Yeah, I've never tried it, but I know that there are a lot of people doing it. And with the hashtags, it's so easy for people to find stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. I mean, you guys be surprised how many people message me just seeing some stuff in my shop on a video. Pete, is this for sale? How much? How much? People are visual, and stuff. I just... Anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to cut out. It's been about an hour and a half for me. I got to go do a couple things before tomorrow. And thanks for having me on. It was great. And hopefully maybe I can show up next week.
Yes, thanks for coming by.
Sure.
I get busy shipping.
Have a good night, Pete.
Good night.
Night, Pete.
Take care.
Night, Pete.
Yeah, he's got a ton of stuff to ship, right?
He's got people for that, Tonya.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he does, doesn't he?
No, actually, it seems like he ships a lot of the stuff himself. I guess, because he's done videos on it anyway. Not sure.
Yeah, I think he likes to be hands-on with the shipping because he wants to make sure it gets out right. You know what I mean? It might be a little bit easier to list than it is to ship. Not So Perfectly Me says that she goofed. She meant to ask, how do you do the item specifics when you're reselling sell similar? So I always do this. I almost always do sell similar. And basically, you just have to go through each thing. So I go through the title, make sure it matches what I have, because sometimes it's a little different. Then you go to the item specifics, and you kind of just got to make sure each one matches what you've done. So, like if it's a shirt, make sure the size is right, the color's right, and then go back and change. But it's not too difficult to do. I think the item specifics is actually under. I'm trying to open it. It's under the details. So you hit details, and then under the description, you've got all your item specifics.
Yeah, you got to check each one, though, because otherwise you're depending on some random Joe Blow to have entered it correctly. And I find like not necessarily mistakes, but a lot of times mismatched model numbers and stuff like that in those fields. So you got to really watch those for sure. Or sometimes they didn't even fill in a field. You know,
right? Yeah, I do that too. Same thing. You go through and make sure.
Or using your own item sometimes, and the quantity set higher. I've done that a few times too.
Oh yeah, that's a
you
good
sell
thing to
some
check.
of a video game, and then look, I'm like, oh no, I don't have 4 of these ones.
All right. Well, so whose channel is it going to be on next week?
Ooh, good question. Who's next?
Who is next? Is it Dwayne?
Wait, well, time out though. Andy, are you ready?
I won't be on next week. Next week's our anniversary, and I doubt I'll be on the following week. I'm like I said, July and August are brutal for me. I was honestly, I was actually surprised I was here tonight. We had an event that I was at earlier today that I expected to go much longer than what it did. So I didn't even think I was going to be here tonight. So
who went after Tonya last time? Was it Dwayne or Jory or who?
I don't know who it was. I can go. Doesn't matter to me.
Jory, you haven't hosted in a while.
Yeah, I can be there next Sunday.
It's got to be either Dwayne or Jory. One of them.
I think so.
Well,
I think it's Jory.
The other 3 here that have already done it again for their second time, right? Lonnie, John, and Tonya.
Yeah.
Andy, you're still not going to host, bud?
It's not ready.
Dude, no, well, it's not that I'm ready. It's just I can't. I just know I'm not going to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like half the time I never, my summers are so booked. And, I mean, last week, well, I mean, last week I was planning on being here, and then, we had some unforeseen things come up. We had a party in our house in the morning that lasted till about 7:30 that night, and Andy didn't make it. So, yeah, it's just weird. So I mean, it's like it's just one of those things. I just can't commit to it because it's like I don't know what's going to happen by that time. You know what I mean? And like I said, next week's our anniversary. Following week we have we have another family event going on. So I was like, I know those 2 weeks. I'm 99% sure that I'm out on those. So as far as 3 weeks from now, I'm not sure what I gotta go look at. I gotta go talk to the wife. She's the one that tells me what the heck we got going on most of the time. So
we're
my wife is my social planner as well.
Oh, believe me. She actually put an app in my phone because she gets mad at me because I can never remember what we got going on. I go, I just don't even plan anything because I go, you have something planned for us every stinking weekend or whatever. I'm like, so I go, I don't plan anything.
So it's going to be Jory Good Used Goods next week. Is that right?
Yeah, I'll host unless my wife goes into labor. I'll be there.
Oh no!
Wait, how far out is she, Jory?
Like we're 3 weeks, I think.
Wow.
So it could be anytime.
So we should be okay for Sunday, though, right? You think?
Yeah,
What do you think?
Sunday should be fine. I'll make her hold it in.
I mean, if you wait, are you going to name the baby Six Pack?
I guess so. Yeah.
Did you say if it's a boy or a girl yet? Did you?
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
It's a boy. Yeah.
Do you have a name? Yeah.
No idea. Not a damn clue.
Jory Jr.
Jory Jr. The junior beer.
Bubbles is a good name.
Bubbles.
Bubbles. Oh, I would be all about that, man.
Oh, yeah. We'll give him a trailer park name, Bubbles or Leahy or Ricky.
Yeah, get him a bunch of kitties.
That's awesome.
You've been watching that show, Lonnie?
Our
I
neighbor
have.
has some kitties living in a shed right now, and it just had kittens.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I got some shed kitties that wander around looking for food.
Tonya, can I promote our little thing we're going to do on Wednesday?
Of course.
Whoa,
Okay,
what's going on? What's going on Wednesday?
Yeah, I kept it secret from you, big guy. Sorry. So Tonya and I are going to have a little project we're working on for Wednesday. We're going to have Steve and Steph, Resell Killers, on with us, and we are going to do, I don't know, would you call it an interview or a...
Yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit about OfferUp. So
Yeah,
That's cool.
and Lonnie has some interview questions.
and you do too. But
Yes.
Tonya and I are going to team up on the Resell Killers, and it's going to be on Garage Flip's channel. So it's going to be fun.
Nice.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
going
they're
to
fun to
be. Yeah, they are fun to watch. It's going to be Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yes.
They're cool. I like them a lot.
Yeah, I love them. So they know so much about OfferUp. And they say
Yeah.
it's really big in their area in California. I know that, I think Pete was saying that OfferUp wasn't really too big in his area, right?
We
So
don't
a
even
lot of-
have it here.
Yeah, a lot of those things are regional, but they say it's really big in California. I know they do a ton of business every single day. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what they have to say about it.
I can't wait to talk to these guys live because they are friggin' hilarious.
They are so funny. I just love them.
I love their sense of humor is so dark and dry and just, it's like really sometimes it's really high level and sometimes it's low level too. But I mean, they're hilarious guys. Thelma has a question. Do you guys ever send an offer with buyer questions as eBay suggests? Does that mean anything to y'all? I'm not sure exactly what that means.
So if somebody asks me a question about an item I have, I can respond to them and also send an offer in the same message.
Yeah. Okay. I know what that is now. Okay.
So
Y'all
yeah,
ever do that?
yeah, I do that definitely.
Have you ever had a sale with it, Tonya?
Yeah, I think I have. So if somebody's kind of on the fence about your item, whether they want it or not, if you give them a little bit of a discount, $5 or $10 off, they're probably thinking they might want to just jump on that right then. So I think it's a really great feature that eBay offers.
I've yet to try that.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay. So
All
Good
right.
Use Goods channel. Tonya, you want to wrap it up? I've only had 3 beers. I've been so good on your channel.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
See, I'm doing good too. Very, very little here. Well, minus what's over there, but we're still good.
Over there, would you spit some out?
Wait,
No, this bottle.
Oh,
at least you weren't over there turning to the side pouring wine. Like you were like, no, it's just weird. And smiling while you're doing it. You're like, hee hee hee.
look,
Well, that's because I knew what it sounded like.
hey, look,
Steady eye
Tonya,
contact as he does.
Tonya, read Whitney's latest comment there that's in the chat. I love that.
Most important feature, ask for the sale directly.
And I could tell you from working at Apple, we had to sell like a certain number of these Apple Care Plus and all this other stuff. And that was the biggest thing for selling is ask for the sale. Don't just say, oh, it's great and it does this and describe all the features. Put them to the test, say blah, 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 yes or no. Make them say yes or no at some point.
Yep.
You
I was
have
in
to-
sales for a long time, and that's absolutely right. You've got to do it in your own way, though. You know what I mean? You can't make it seem forced. So if they're
Yeah.
looking at a TV, you say, are you going to take this TV home with you today? Or something like that.
Mm.
Yep. And the quicker they say no, the better too, because they can just move on to the next person.
Ooh,
Actually, no, that's wrong.
Oh well, that was it for door-to-door sales for me. Every no was
that's
quicker
true.
than
Yeah,
yes.
if you get a door slammed in your face, that's a totally
Yeah.
different story.
knock again.
Right.
It was the same
Those
at
are
the dealership
opportunities,
too.
Tori.
It was the same at the dealerships too, though. You could tell pretty quickly who was just window shopping and actually wanted the car.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely.
Yep. Okay. Well, I guess we will wrap this up if nobody has any more questions. And I want to thank everybody for joining us this evening and staying with us as long as you have. We really appreciate seeing everybody in the chat and interacting with you guys. And we will see you on Jory's channel next week.
Awesome.
Very good.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
See ya.